What's up, everyone? It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover. Today, I have a very special show in store for you guys. We're going to take it to the next level today on Top 5 Eyewear because I have the man himself, Mr. Kunle Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I am doing great, and I'm super excited to be here. I can't wait to get on your platform and just share and have a great conversation with you around eyewear, fashion, and just life. So I'm super excited. I'm happy to be here.
Hey, you guys, this show today for me is very, very special. For those that always ask me, and they're like, man, Dr. Glover, you're so fly, you dress well, you got it going on. Where'd you get your clothes? Who styles you? There's two people in my life that really make me look great. And this is the other gentleman here outside of my wife. And Kunle is responsible for really everything that I wear, you guys. When I go to these conferences and I'm suited and booted from top to bottom, I spend probably a week or two prior just hanging out with him and hitting up the different shops and just figuring out, what's going to complement the eyewear that I purchased. So I really wanted to bring Mr. Lawrence on the show simply because he is the man that has all the answers when it comes to fashion. And I strongly feel that we really need to, explore the minds of our patients, to see how their behaviors are, what they are thinking whenever they come into an office and where they buy their eyewear from as well, whether it's ophthalmic, whether it's sunglasses. So it was only right to bring Mr. Lawrence on today. Mr. Lawrence, man, I could talk about you forever, but I want you to tell the world about who you are, where you're from, your story, and then I would love to jump into your amazing brand known as Lawrenzok as well. But take it from the top, man. Tell us where you're from, where you were born, what you do for a living, everything, man. Let's take it from the top.
Well, thank you so much. And like I said again, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Great platform. My name is Kunle Lawrence, and I am originally from Nigeria. I am an attorney by day and a man of style always. So style is always in my repertoire. It's always something that has been a part of me. I've been in the US now about 13, 14 years. I'm a lawyer. Like I said, that's what I do for my day job. And just being around style growing up has been something that I've sort of evolved into my own brand and how that impacts me on a daily basis as a human being and the people around me, and how I want to sort of sell my story and my message about branding, about dressing well, living good, being a wholesome guy around, being a wholesome man around fashion, style, and life lessons. So, in a nutshell, that's what I do. When I came to the U.S., I went to the University of Florida, so I have a master's degree in law as well. I work for a pharmaceutical company full time now, and I have this baby of mine, this Lawrenzok brand that is just is it's a budding brand. It's a baby, but it's not a baby because it's been in the works for a very long time. But sharing it with the world, it's a baby because it's a new vision that I have. But this vision has been percolating in my head and in my mind for a very long time. So I know we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's a little bit of a nutshell of who I am and what I do and where I am at this point in my life.
Yeah, and that's great, man. I mean, you just a wealth of knowledge, well put together, just super polished. I mean, if you guys are looking for a role model, this is the guy that you need to follow. Like, seriously, I learned so much from him just having candid conversations. Whatever you can think of, this guy has the answers to. Just a fantastic gentleman in general. Mr. Lawrence, I would love to really dig into the concept of style, fashion, and trends because being an eye care professional, we've been blessed to be in an industry where we have a retail piece and a medical piece. And the best eye care professionals out there are able to combine the best of both worlds and prescribe that from the chair for our patients. But a lot of us aren't really fashion forward. We don't really know what's hot, what's not. We don't even really know what the style or the difference is between style and fashion or trends. So I would love for you to just kind of, deconstruct that and really give us a perspective of these terms, this terminology, because it can really help us out in the exam lanes and also in our offices as well.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point that you just raised. How this sort of trilogy, there is style, there's fashion, and then there are trends. And how do you sort of navigate and balance those things, and have a cohesive balance in your practice and in with your patients and as an individual. So for me, style has always been and will forever be an individualistic expression of yourself. It's an extension of who you are. It's the natural thing. It's the thing you naturally gravitate towards. It has staying power. It's not fleeting. Those are trends, and that's fashion. It might be fashionable in 1998, and then in 1999 it's not fashionable. It might be fashionable last summer, Paris Fashion Week, and then this summer it's not fashionable and they've moved to something else. But style is very, very it's conservative by nature. It has a little bit of flair into it. And if you look at menswear, if you look at the trends in, I was looking at a picture just yesterday of the Spanish flu. I think it was in 1914 or something, or some flu. And I saw these guys, they had an open air barbershop and they were all dressed well. And if you put those guys in 2020, they will look amazing. And that's because they were stylish men. They were wearing waistcoats, beautiful tailored suits, beautiful um, pants, great Oxford shoes. That is what style is. It's something that has a staying power. And you can tell what your style is by the things you naturally gravitate towards. If you go into a store and you're just standing there, sometimes you see a shirt or you see a blazer and you naturally repetitively, if you go to 10 different stores, you gravitate towards that exact type of blazer in all the stores that you go to. That is your style. That is something you might want to look at and look to hone and be like, what are the things that, without me forcing it too much, without me trying to catch on trends, oh, this is what this person is doing. So what are the things that are natural to me? Because one thing about fashion or style or menswear is when it comes natural to you, when you don't have to force it, it's very easy for you to interpret that into how you dress. So, in a nutshell, I'll say style um, is something that pulls you towards it very naturally. So you have to, when you find those things that you love without anybody prodding you into this is what you should wear, this is what you shouldn't wear, and then you gradually start to see that, oh, it'll stand the test of time. It'll be something that you're known for. That's your signature. You wear it well, you move well, it's comfortable. So that to me, but rounding it up and not trying to be too long-winded, style is very, very, very an extension of you.
Gotcha.
It's you manifesting those things that you love in clothing. So to just stay true to it. Once everybody knows what they gravitate towards naturally.
Yeah, I love that you brought this up because I think a lot of times us as eye care professionals, we have our optical team on the floor and we're educating them about, what's the latest and greatest on trends. But a lot of patients may not even be into trends. Maybe we're looking at the wrong thing and asking the wrong questions. Maybe we should ask more questions of what do you love? What do you like to do? And break that down in a little more detail because we may be matching our patients with the wrong eyewear that's going to truly complement their lifestyle. So maybe we've been taking the wrong approach. So I love that you brought that up because we always want to know what the latest and greatest trends are because we think every patient that walks through the door is into that. And some people may just have style, something that's simple, straightforward, that reflects them and their go-to where they feel comfortable and win all the time.
Absolutely. I think that's you hit the nail on the head because think about it. When I go anywhere, whether I'm in meetings or anything, when someone asks me, Mr. Lawrence, what do you think? I'm like, okay, you want to hear what I think, and I feel happy. I feel like I want to share what I think. So imagine you just, maybe you've seen a patient, you've done their eye test and everything, and you send them out to go look at eyewear, and the first thing whoever's on the floor asks them is, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, what sort of eyewear do you like? What is your style? What are you looking for? I think they feel empowered in that sense. They sit up, they're like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I like, this is what I like. And then you can show them a few things and say, you know what, but would you like to try something different? Are you sort of like adventurous? Do you want to switch up your style a little bit more? And then you show them different things. And I think that once you include them in that process, the chances of you closing the deal is high because they don't think you're like dictating to them. They want to have a role in the eyewear that they pick. And by you asking them, what do you like? I think that's a really great question for my clients that I work with. I have my own style. I know what I like, but I can't impose that on you all the time. So when I talk to you, I'm going to ask you, what do you like? What kind of suits do you wear? Do you like double-breasted suits? Do you like single-breasted? Do you like flashy colors? And then we can take it from there. But when I know what you like, I can help you. I can help you build something. But I need to ask you what you like. I need to hear your opinion because that's the true customer service piece.
Yeah, I love that. Now, I think, just the takeaway is that we need to empower the patients that's in front of us. We need to let them know that we are here for you. We understand your vision. We want to be more towards your vision instead of just trying to close that deal. And I'm glad that you brought that up because even with you, I know when it comes to eyewear, I don't always see you coming to my office to buy eyewear. You tend to buy eyewear outside of an optometrist's office. And I'm curious to know, why is that? What makes you feel that going, to a store or online or wherever you may shop, the eyewear is better there than your local trusted optometrist?
Well, I don't think it's better there. For me, I think for most of us, and maybe I'm not the best example of this because I'm an extremely high volume addictive consumer of eyewear. So mine's a little crazy. But I think I have my eye appointment once a year to have my checkup, and when I go in there, I see that as an opportunity to pick out an eyewear. But I think for most people and for me, speaking from experience, I see the optometrist as something I need to go to once a year. And when I'm in there, I can pick out eyewear. If the optometrist office was designed in such a way where maybe on the side there was a different door and all you did was sell eyewear on that side, I could just come in and pick out eyewear. I don't need to be able to see a doctor. I think that might increase the traffic flow into buying just eyewear instead of having that mentality of when I go in, I'm going to have my eyes checked. I'm going to see the doctor, then I can pick out eyewear. But if I want to buy eyewear without going to have my eyes checked, I don't think I've made that correlation in just walking into the office. So I think if I were to advise a multinational company on a business plan, I'd be like, if you did have a side on the side of your office. Let's, how like Solstice and all this people have the, beautiful lights, and it's just on the side where you can just come in and buy eyewear. And I think that might really help drive that traffic into the store for optometrists.
Gotcha. So really creating more of an experience more than anything instead of just, this is medical, go get your glasses. Because you hit the nail on the head when you say that you go once a year. We always are trying to bring patients in more than once a year. And a lot of times it is more for that medical reason, but I do feel like we need to capitalize more on the eyewear piece, more on the retail piece, because folks like you want to consume and they want to try on the frame instead of just buying it online, especially if you love eyewear.
Yes,
That option of really kind of splitting it right down the middle and creating a better vibe or a different type of energy and maybe even some music that kind of goes with the flow. I think that would create more of a better experience for patients to come in, off their routine or annual eye exam cycle. I like that a lot. I like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like we have some folks tapping in, preach louder. For those joining later, what you're saying is powerful. Optometrists need to get out of their mentality of selling eyewear every year or 2 years. I'm with you that 100%. We have another one of our colleagues out in Wilmington, North Carolina. I like that idea. Separate interest, maybe just for eyewear. Makes sense. I mean, it is a retail piece, so why not give it that retail vibe? That way you can go ahead and, mesh with the consumer's mindset of how they purchase any other retail piece that's out there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're a eyewear connoisseur, but before we jump into your eyewear, I really want folks to understand how fashion forward you are, how much you are just a man when it comes with anything fashion related. I mean, you've been on the cover of GQ, all types of websites. I mean, you name it, you have really done it all. What I'd like for you to do right now is just really tell us a little bit more about this Lorenzo K brand And I'd like to take that brand and kind of implement eyewear, your top five eyewear, after we go into that. So
Okay.
just, maybe tell us a little bit about, how that got started and just maybe your favorite pieces or what the inspiration and all that jazz was with this Lorenzo K brand.
Okay, so Lorenzo K and how the name came about was, was a fun. My name is Kunle Lawrence. Like I'm Nigerian, born and bred in Lagos, proud of my heritage. And a lot of my friends in college used to call me Lorenzo K. They just played around with the name. And so I've always thought, if I ever had a brand, I'll name it Lorenzo K for fun. But how did the brand come along? I have always loved and studied style and fashion. Like I've always had an eye for, I love my suits to be cut in a certain way. I want a certain type of cut. And I couldn't really find that on when I went into stores just off the rack. I'll find just cookie cutter stuff that was nice, but I wanted like maybe uh, a heavier lapel, a wider lapel. I wanted my pants cut differently. I wanted a different type of fabric, and I couldn't find those things. So about 7 or 8 years ago, I started looking into what will it take to start my own brand. And I knew that before I could start a brand, I needed to have a lot of things in place. I needed reliability. I needed great customer service. I needed to have master tailors that could deliver. I couldn't disappoint my patient. It's a long process. So I went to Italy first. PT Uomo is like a trade show in Florence, Italy, where all the top um, menswear stylists, connoisseurs, merchants, manufacturers from around the world come to. So I went there and I wanted to just sort of get a feel, get my feet wet. What does it take to start your own brand? Went there the first time was like fish out of water. I didn't know anyone. I was just exploring. I was able to make a few connections here and there. And then I went a few other times and I was able to make those connections with people and how to start your brand. Obviously, so in early this year, after years and years of trying to build connections, trying to find the perfect tailors, testing out so many different suits, dry cleaning them, wearing them, making sure that they could stand the test of time. Because when you put your name behind the product, that's a lot of pressure. You
It's a
have to
lot
deliver.
of pressure.
You have to deliver. There are people waiting. You have to deliver. So I thought I'd gone to a stage where I had everything, all the ingredients in place, the right suppliers for my fabrics, different mills across London, Italy. I had tailors in Hong Kong and Italy and London who could deliver my vision. And I thought I had a good channel of commerce, e-commerce trade. And so earlier this year, we decided to officially launch the brand. So imagine this. This took about 7 years in the making. We're traveling, we're doing research and everything. And I was finally comfortable enough to launch it this year. So the Lorenzo K branch launched this year. It is a menswear custom brand. So what we do is we have fabrics from one of the best mills in the world. So it's a truly customized experience. You pick out your fabrics, you pick out the buttons you want, you pick out your linings. You could tell me exactly how you want your suit cut. I'm going to measure you based on your body type. Different things go into the process of a truly custom fabric. And when you put that garment on, you can tell the difference between off the rack and custom. I'm based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. For now, I do have a system in place. With technology comes great innovation where I can measure you virtually. So we're testing that out now. But yeah, we're in Raleigh, Durham. We have our website is up lawrenzok.com, and we just don't do menswear. We do women's wear as well. So if the ladies want to get suits done or pantsuits done or blazers, we do that as well. But our number one thing is just standing behind that quality and that great craftsmanship. And so we feel like we're at the place now where we're happy to deliver those things to our clients.
And you guys, I have some Lorenzo K. Sometimes when you see me out taking a picture, I'm actually draped in my Lorenzo K. So when I tell you that it's top notch, it's top notch. What I would like to get into next is really just kind of paint a picture for you guys. Mr. Lawrence has an incredible video that really touches, on the story of Lorenzo K. And then after that, I want to jump into his ridiculous collection of eyewear because you guys think I have amazing eyewear. He makes my eyewear collection look like it's nothing. So let's get started with this video so you guys can check it out, and then we'll jump into the top five eyewear with the man himself, Mr. Lawrenzok.
Style for me is an individualistic expression of self. And what I mean by that, it's a wholesome process. It's a process that is inspired by the things around you, by the music, by the arts. A man should not always strive just to be stylish alone, but you need to stand for something. You need to have a moral compass. You need to be a complete man in your style, in your thinking, and in your morality. How you define that. And if we see what's going on around the world today, looking at Nigeria, for example, with the NSAS protests, I can just imagine if my father, my late father, and my grandfather were around. I know that these men have inspired me greatly and have left indelible marks on my life. And I know that they would stand up, they would speak up because they have nothing to hide. When I was designing this collection, it came from a place of comfort, from a place of peace. I was very comfortable with who I am and where I was at this stage of my life from a style perspective. And so drawing on those lessons and teachings from my father, everything sort of culminated and came into this beautiful creative process in my mind. If you could ask me, what message are you trying to send? What do you want people to take away when they see this collection, when they see these pieces? I would say I think it's a collection that simply celebrates life.
Wow, that's all I have to say. Amazing, amazing work, Mr. Lawrence. I mean, it's just the production, the clothes, even the eyewear that you put in there to complement the clothing. I mean, just fantastic, man. Fantastic job. Uh, let's jump into it, man. Let's talk about your top five eyewear. I've always been a fan of your collection. I'm always looking for hand-me-downs from your collection because you purchased some pretty nice designs, and I want to share it with the world. So let's start with number one, man. What do you have going?
Well. Thank you for playing that video. It was something that we wanted to showcase style, but also we wanted to showcase the wholesome man, because I think style is great, but you have to have other things as a man. You have to be responsible. You have to be honest. You have to be upstanding. Those are the things that make you a man. It's style is a small aspect of that. And I think that's one thing that my brand is always focused on. It's about the wholesome man. Style is a big part of it, but it's not everything. So yeah, so let's jump into the eyewear collection. It was tough. It was extremely tough trying to narrow down my top five, but I think I was able to. I tried to. So first, I'll go with the classic uh, Cartier Vendome Louis sunglasses. So I think these are classic vintage. I think made in 1983 by Cartier, based out of Paris. And so I'm just gonna wear them so you can see how they look. And I really like these because they give you that very classic bossy vibe. They have the gold, they have the brown gradient tint to it, and I think it's really classic. It transcends different eras and different styles. You can wear it with a suit. You can wear it with a casual look on the weekend. So I really like this one. So this is definitely one that I don't wear too often, but I know it's one of my treasured ones that I have in my arsenal. So this definitely did make the cut. So
Yeah, that's one of my my favorites for sure, man. Every time you put that frame on, I'm hoping you get tired of it so I can take it off your hands because it's a killer frame, man. Just the gold, the way it pops, that brown tint on it, and it fits your face perfectly. So whenever you're ready to give it up, man, toss it my way. All right.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so that's another thing I do. I try to look for eyewear that complements my face, and that's one thing you also, you know, preached to me years ago that you have to look for that eyewear, not just stylish, but fits your face structure. Some people have wider faces, they might want a wide eyewear, so I tend to gravitate towards those. Well, second on the list are my Dita creators. These were sort of like a cult. They had like a cult following back in the day when they sold out. I think Dita started making them again. I can even remember, I think Usher had a pair that he lost and he put out a PSA message that, I'll give so amount of money for whoever finds it, but they started doing it again. I really like these. They have that classic look as well, but they just like they're sort of clean and they look good and they fit my face and how my face is built. So Data Creator are definitely a top on my top five list as well. So this made the cut. This did make the cut.
So where would you wear this frame? How would you wear this? I mean, would this be a Lorenzo K suit with this, or is this going out on a weekend? I mean, how would you style this? And let me ask you this, because I do this. I start with my eyewear and then dress myself down. How do you dress yourself every day, and how do you wear this frame?
Okay, well, I'll go with your first question. With this, I think these are classic enough that you can wear them with a suit. You can wear them with a t-shirt, slacks or whatever on the weekend. I think they look good with either look. And I'm the opposite of you actually. I actually start dressing up and I'm done. And then I open up my eyewear and I start to think, what will go with this outfit? So I play around with one or two things. I might ask my wife, what do you think about this? So play around. But I always go with the eyewear last. I have to figure out what I'm going to wear, and then I start to play around with it. So that's how I do. But with this, I think you could go either way. And that's what I also try to do. I try to make. I think you can be versatile with your eyewear collection. I think very very few of them are limited to one genre of dressing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we shall go to number three. Number three on the list is I really like these. These are my classic Celine's. So they're all black. They have that wafer feel to them, but they're Celine. And I got on Celine a couple of years ago, and their eyewear is just incredibly. It's just made very well, very sturdy. I like these because even though they're black, they have like the gold tint around the edges here and they're just real nice. So I really like them. I like how I think these are probably my most versatile eyewear. They go with everything. They're black, they pop. I can wear it with a suit, I can wear a t-shirt on the weekend. And I just like how it sort of opens up and it just looks good and it just feels flawless and effortless. And the quality of Celine is just really, really nice. So this made the cut as well as it's one of my top ones.
Yeah, I love this frame whenever you wear it because, well, typically whenever we walk into place, you always demand attention. People are asking about your suits and stuff like that. But this frame right here just really is a rich vibe, rich feeling, and it just really demands attention. So I love this design. And if you don't mind taking the frame off and even showing the detail, that intricate detail that's, yeah, right there. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So there's a detail right there. So it has the gold detail and also it extends all the way around it. So you can see that on the side. So it's very subtle. And then it has, obviously the Celine and it has one Celine emblem as here as well. But it's just really well made, just sturdy, really, really good. So yeah, this made the cut for sure. Uh, and
Number
then now on to number four. It's a tough one. So these are sort of new. These are Loewe's, and these I haven't worn these before. Actually, I had them. These are more. They're wider for your face, and these are my first pair of Loewe's. I know they're brand based out of Spain. They've been around, I think, from the 1845 or something, but they used to make leather goods, but now they just sort of moved into making eyewear. So these are more of the unisex, I think last season's collection. And they look different. They're slightly wider, it's more sort of like rectangular. So I like these as well. I think these will be coming out sometime in the summer when it gets warm, and COVID permitting, things we get vaccinated and the numbers keep dropping. But yeah, I really like this. I like how heavy it is on this side, and the brown gradient with the black, I think matches very well. And the detailing just up in the middle here looks good. So I like these ones. So yeah.
Yeah, you've been holding out on me with this pair, man. I haven't even seen these. These are very nice. And you bring up something in regards to the temples. They're nice and thick. And when I'm looking at that temple and I'm looking at your skin tone, you have a rich blackness to your skin tone. How do you figure out when it comes to frame colors what to pick? Because we have opticians, we have optical team members that may not know how to pick the perfect color to go with different skin tones. What do you use? Is it a color wheel or is it just experience? Or what advice do you have for rich skin like yours that's out there?
I think that's a great question. For me, I tend to most of the time have tried on the eyewear in the store, or maybe I'll sort of read the reviews on about them online and see. But I think just from experience, having bought eyewear for a while, I could tell, and for example, this one had two colors when it was made last season. It had one, it was a lighter color and was really light. And I thought I just didn't think that would go well for me. And so I didn't buy that. So it's something, I think it's hit or miss, but I think that's a great question that you can add to, because if I'm a customer and I come into your eyewear practice and after my exams you ask me, like, tell tell me your story. What kind of eyewear do you like? How can I blend that to your complexion to give you that richness that pops? I think the 21st century consumer loves to be pampered. They love you to tell them things like that. I think those are things that will make someone who's looking at their watch, like, I need to get out of here, say, you know what, I could spend another 30 minutes in this chair and just be a little more relaxed because of how you approach them. I think those are fantastic nuggets that you just dropped there on how you can ask little questions about, little questions that tend to touch on certain parts of people and how they see themselves and how they carry themselves that might make them like, oh my God, they're so attentive to me. They have amazing customer service. But customer service varies for people. To me, if someone asks me that, that's like the height of customer service. I'm like, you're so detailed and you're asking me how an eyewear will blend with the complexion of my skin when I go out. Like that's amazing. So
Yeah, I'm all about customization, and when you're looking at someone that's in front of you in the world that we live in, you want to make sure you can find something that's going to accommodate their lifestyle. But also, everyone loves customization. I mean, we're talking about your suits. These are made to measure. They're tailored suits to who you are as a person, all the way from the top to the bottom, down to the color combination. So why not do that with eyewear? People are spending thousands of dollars on suits. I'm pretty sure they'll spend thousands of dollars on eyewear if you really make it a better experience and you really touch on just the way how you actually communicate or communicate what you're trying to get across to them.
yes, I think so. I think that's key. That's amazing. So we're on number four, and we have one more, and this one was actually a gift from you to me, and I really love these. These are these are these are extremely, like, they are so, they're one of a kind. They're extremely light. I remember rocking them in Italy and getting so many compliments when I went out there for the fall winter show. I think in 2019 or 18, I think, probably maybe 17 even. And these are just super light, super light. They're extremely beautiful. I love them. They just sit on your face. And when you wear those, your summer hats in Italy, it just pops so much more. So, and the gold and just how different it is. So this to me is one where that I really, really do treasure. Like I said, it was a gift from you, and I appreciate that. So these are my top five. These are my top five.
Well, man, you got an incredible top five. And that brand there that he's wearing, you guys, is RVS Eyewear, made by Vidal. You've probably seen this frame on the likes of Lady Gaga, Beyonce, I think even maybe Jay-Z. And there's only a limited amount of these that actually went out there in the world. And this young man here in front of me, Mr. Kunle Lawrence, is one of those guys that actually have this one. I don't even think you can get this anymore at all. But Mr. Lawrence, man, this has been a fantastic show. You have shown us some incredible eyewear. I'm so thankful that you were able to share your story of the Lawrenzok brand and to share that video with us so we can understand the difference between style and fashion. I would love for you just to leave some, words of wisdom. I always like to have folks that come on leave words of wisdom with my audience, simply because we all are all trying to grow as people. And I would love to just get some wisdom from you, because I get it day in and day out, and I want to be able to share the wealth that I get to experience with my colleagues.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. It was great to be on your platform. I've watched you grow this platform from its inception and to greater heights, and I'm super proud and so happy to be associated with what you're doing with your platform and how you are being that shining example for Black optometrists, not just in the U.S. but around the world. If I were to live words of wisdom, I always go to the well that was given to me from my father and my grandfather. And if you watch the video, you will see how influential those men are to me in my life and shaping who I am. And it's just being just persevere, just be determined in whatever you do. There are going to be roadblocks, but you just have to keep pushing down. Have a plan and stick to it. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to keep pushing, and have a great support system around you. Love your family. Um, make time to relax. Make time to unwind. Don't overwork yourself, and have a great balance of have a great work-life balance. Because I think sometimes when we recharge, like you and I, we take trips, we'll go out of the country to Mexico with the family, we come back and we feel like we want to take over the world again because we feel recharged. So have a plan. I'll always say stick to your plan and don't listen to the naysayers. I don't think there's anyone out there who's made it big. And I've listened to so many podcasts about people who've been successful in the world. And I've never heard one person say, when I shared my idea with them, they're like, oh my God, this is great. They always put you down. They say it's impossible, it's crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, but you just have to stick with it. If you have conviction, your conviction has to push you through. So that's my nugget. And I'm also preaching to myself, because when I'm giving myself that advice, I'm reminding myself to always persevere and be consistent and persevere through it. And like I said, make time for your family and your friends and have a great work-life balance.
Fantastic. Well, if anyone wants to get up with you and maybe get a custom suit or just pick your brain in regards to your eyewear collection, what's the best contact information for someone to reach out to you?
So I have a website. It's called www.lawrenzok. My name's on the screen, lawrenzok.com. And I do have a contact us button there. You can contact me for suits, or you can contact me for just anything. You can send me a message. I'll get it. I'll reach back to you. But that's the best place you can reach me on my website.
Well, it's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover. Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle Lawrence of Lawrenzok, for hanging out with me today. You guys, I want you guys to tune in next week. We're going to have another top 5 eyewear. As always, stay healthy, stay blessed, and stay positive. Make sure you check out Lawrenzok. Follow him on social media. His Instagram is crazy. It's a lot of great inspiration to be able to show your patients also the exam lane when it comes to the eyewear. So check him out. You guys have a great one. It's your favorite optometrist.